giving that thing. Panchol like stand Panchir America. Banyi dwal ban panchol like stand Panchir America. Banyi dwal ban wo kojile kankar watana watchin. Oga level juir kwa ugarai lek panda wadiaye Panchir America. Banyi dwal ban chingitongo pandon kujuera baya cheka. Paku panda juir wadiaye dwal. Panchir America, Banyi dwal ban panchol like stand.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in. Welcome to Lagos State Media. Today we have a guest among us who will give us a brief presentation regarding the 10 years anniversary of the Republic of South Sudan. Honorable David Kockedhie Puondak is here with us in the studio, and my co-host Gardeng Mobok as well. We will share the video. Please, those who are watching, Agar, take over to greet the audience before we introduce the guest.
Thank you, Brother Isaac. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to Lagos State Media, and welcome our honorable brother David Kockedhie Puondak. Welcome to Lagos State Media. Everyone is welcome to ask any question to our honorable, our guest within Lagos State Media. Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you so much. Honorable MP David Kockedhie Puondak, welcome Lagos State Media once again. We are happy to have you today to give us a brief introduction of yourself to our audience, and then from there you start your presentation. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. First of all, I would like to appreciate the role you have done by inviting me to come here, Lagos State Media. To start with, my name is David Kockedhie Puondak. I'm a member of SPLM, currently a deputy chairman of SPLM, Provisional office in Australia. That's why I'm working here, as well as a member of parliament in Lagos Legislative Assembly. That's me. Beside what I'm going to present here, it is actually the celebration supposed to be done on date 9 here in Australia by the Provisional Office, Australian-wide. That's the topic that I'm going to discuss. I want to share the reflection of 10 years of the SPLM government and what the people have been fighting for half a century. That's what I'm going to discuss. And I'm happy that Lagos State Media invited me, and I welcome everybody who has a question to or somebody who want to comment. The issue of South Sudan was not just started in 1983. The problem dated back long time back, since 1947 in Juba Round Table, before the independence of Sudan in 1956. Our chiefs decided to go to Juba with the British government, joint government of British Egypt, which were actually the rulers of Sudan then. The issue of independence of Sudan was the topic, and the case of South Sudan was registered by our fathers by then, and the chief and the few intellectuals decided to go to register their, views of getting independent of South Sudan. This one did not work. The Arab influenced the British, and the case of South Sudan was closed, and the unity of the two countries, which is now become independent South Sudan, was put aside. This has triggered the fight, the mutiny in 1955 in Torit. And then Nyanya One started to challenge the government in Khartoum. Our fathers were in the bush. They fought until they signed peace agreement in 1972. That one did not even end up there, because the peace agreement, which was signed by President Nemeri, did not work. And even Nyanya Two, there were remnants of South Sudanese who did not even join the peace. They have decided to remain in the bush because they were not satisfied with the peace agreement. The peace was not for Southerners. It was actually the interest of the North, just to manipulate the South and kill the idea of having their own country. Anyanya Two remained in the bush, and the peace were tried to be implemented. Nimeri did not even honor the peace, and he said this is not the Quran and it's not Injil. This was the other, issue which triggered the fight in 1983, where the SPLM, SPLA joined the struggle. They went to Ethiopia under the leadership of Dr. John Garang Damabior and the current commander, Salva Kiir Mayardit, and so many martyrs who were there. You can count them. They struggled for 21 years, and the issue of South Sudan was settled through arms. People fought, and lives were lost. We just did not get it. We did not get independent, freely. People fought, and 2.5 million were lost through fighting and related diseases and famine. And we signed that agreement again in Naivasha, Kenya, in 2005, signed by Dr. John Garang Damabior, which gave us the 6 years interim period for South Sudanese to decide it, either to go on their way or to go back to be united with Sudan. Our people have decided, wherever they are, they did not accept to unite with Sudan again. And this one, that's why we are going to celebrate here. In 2011, July 9, 2011, was the day South Sudan became independent, and our flag was raised among the flags of the world. It was raised among the flag of the world in United Nations, and our embassies are everywhere. And we had our currency known as Pound of South Sudan. We have our national anthem. You all know, and we had we have our army. We are no longer part of Sudan. South Sudan was born 10 years ago, and now I'm going to reflect on what we have got in 10 years until today. That's what I'm here tonight to share with you, as I put this brief history or the background where we came from and where we are we heading to. 10 years ago, South Sudan got independent, and it was a very beautiful country. In 2 years' time, South Sudanese were being respected all over. And the fatigue of war, which has actually loomed within our people, has started 2 years later. That one has put us back. We are all aware. And of course, SPLM, which is the ruling party or the liberator, the movement that has liberated people, has been struggling all along, even during the time when we were in the bush. This struggling has never ended. We have been walking in a very muddy road until we reach independence. And this one did not stop. It started right away after 2 years later, where the element who does not like peace to prosper and people of South Sudan to enjoy the dividend of peace after a long war has started the war again to interrupt what has been achieved. This is the South Sudan we are talking. 2 years after independence, we were at war in 13 and never stopped. We signed peace. We came back. There's war in 2016. We signed peace again until we have this peace now known as Revitalized Peace Agreement. There is no development, of course, but we have achieved few things. We have a country. We are fighting now in a place we call home. We are no longer fighting the north. People now are fighting on only what they have in their hand, their own country, the beautiful country where you can go anywhere with no shame because you are working in South Sudan, the home, the place we call home. SPLM, which is the ruling party, is trying its level best to bring a country under control. And that's why we signed peace, known as a Revitalized Peace Agreement, with the group known as SPLM-IO. Others political parties are there, of course. South Sudan is a democratic country, and we have been democratic. SPLM, as a movement, has principle, democratic principle, and which ran it into the Constitution of South Sudan. Of course, that government was elected. It was not a government we were elected. I, for one, as a member of parliament, I was elected together with President Salva Kiir in 2010. That government in Khartoum today was elected government. And that's what this one. Everybody to accept the constitutional government. And peace is paramount. And that's why the SPLM government is ready to bring peace to the country. As we are celebrating today, we have schools. Primary school have been built all over. We have secondary school. We have universities. We can mention few. We have University of Juba, which is known in the country. We graduated thousands and thousands of students in our own country that are no longer in Khartoum. We have University of Upper Nile. We're graduating thousands of them, of our children, our own South Sudan products. We have Barghazal University, Rumbek University, private universities. These are the achievements of the government. We have to mention them. With all this going on, no peace, the government is trying to indicate to produce the human resource in the country to develop their own country known as South Sudan. The government is trying, apart from that, we have hospitals. We have hospitals. We have our own doctors, and our friends are supporting us. And we have this communication and networking in the country today. People in outside that are speaking with their own relative in South Sudan. We've never been there during Sudan. SPLM has produced and gave us a dignity. We have a dignity. We are no longer South Sudanese of old days. There's no doubt that people are suffering. People can suffer because if there is war, people can suffer because there are those elements who does not like freedom to prosper, to reign. But the SPLM as a party and the government, SPLM-led government by President Salva Kiir, the president who loved peace, he loved peace, he brought it to the government, and the people who are in the government, they should play their part. SPLM to do it alone, because the country belongs to all of us. This is what we are saying today. You know, the children of orphan and the orphans, the widows, and the wounded heroes have been affected, of course, because of the war. They are no longer, they want peace, but those who brought war has interrupted the government. Thank God that we have this peace agreement. Our hopes are all in this peace agreement, and we believe. I believe Salva Kiir is going to deliver. Is going to give all the programs we plan for this generation. 10 years time we produce a generation. We have a new generation now of independence. These people, they need services. They need services in their own country, and we are ready to deliver them. That's why here in Australia, we, the SPLM Provisional Office, our task is to organize the SPLM here. They go to convention, they elected their own representative, and the same thing will happen inside, because before election, the SPLM has to organize, send the people to the, and they elect, and then the election will come. Of course, with this peace agreement, things are going to be okay, and the election will take place. And this is the program that we have here. We urge everybody, every South Sudanese, wherever they are, to accept peace. Make peace with yourself first, and then go and make peace with others. I'm a feeling to support the revitalized peace agreement and make peace within, and go on. If election comes, you win election, you are a Southern Sudanese. You go on with that. If FPL win, which I believe, come join hand with us, and then we continue with the program. If we did not have a program, we would have not go to war. And that program brought us the country, of course. That program is straight down to people, never died. The government now is going to introduce infrastructure. We are seeing there are big roads. Road from Juba up to Malakal is underway, is under construction. And there is this road from Juba up to Rumbek, to Northern Bargazal, to Bantiu. Are these not programs? They are. And they need support from the people. They need unity. They need people to unite. Yeah. I am here to tell you that there are what we achieve. There are challenges, and war is number one. War, particularly, is the one challenging the development. And nobody is doubt about that. And that's why government is ready to peace to the country, and we are supporting it. I appeal to my comrades here in Australia, particularly those who may think that this is not the office. Somebody said, no, because there were no office. The first chairman of Australian Wide was called Mariano Dengor, and the man now is ambassador in South Sudan. Then the SPLM office in Juba decided to appoint the committee where I am a deputy chairman, and the chairman is known Teng. It's called David Teng Puch. This is the chairman. He's the chairman of Australian Wide. In Victoria, they have their own branch. There is SPLM branch in Victoria. Like in South Sudan, we have state SPLM, and we haven't been county SPLM. I don't know where are we going to meet here. We bring in the county SPLM to talk about national secretariat. That one is dismissed. I think somebody actually written down there. That's why I'm saying it. Let's come together and come and contest. You will be elected. I am here provisionally to organize the SPLM in Australia, and we continue with the next stage where you will become the real chairman and the deputy chairman. You know, I have work. All of you know that I'm a member of parliament back home. I'm going back to work there, and I'm doing work of SPLM. When I was in South Africa, I was in SPLM Youth League. Wherever I go, I stand with SPLM. My dear comrade or my friend in Lagos State media, if there is any question there, I would like to hand it.
All right, yeah, thank you so much, David Kockedhie. My brother Riak Train Maror, welcome to Lagos State Media once again. Be with us on the other day, and now you come. And for those who see him in the dark side, he's back home, and it's still early morning hours where he is in South Sudan. So I will give the floor first to him or to greet people. And if he has a question, he will bring up that question. And before you ask Mr. Riak, give me one chance. I need to ask David one question here. As the provisional office appointed here in diaspora or in Australia wide, do you have a connection or with other chapters, SPLM chapters representing SPLM in different states? Do you people or this new office, do you have a communication with them?
Yes, that's a good question. We have a communication with SPLM Secretariat in Juba, the Director of External Affairs, which is responsible with the SPLM chapters all over the world. We are communicating with the leadership of SPLM. Our delegates went to Juba. They met the leadership of SPLM. I, for one, went. And the problem of pandemic, the coronavirus, would have been, finished this case already. I came back and the lockdown followed. That's why we did not take a step because of this pandemic. Otherwise, we are in touch with the base because we are communicating with the leadership in Juba, and we report to them.
All right. But here within Australia, in as you name it before that, there are secretariats like county SPLM level, and there are different levels, state levels. What I'm referring to, we have we have states here like South Australia, Western Australia, Queensland, where I am here. There are SPLM chapters offices here in Canberra and in Sydney, New South Wales. And within Victoria, where the office is, do you have communication? You share ideas? Have you ever have a meeting, teleconference meetings, or you head in one office and you sit down and you discuss some issues? Like now, we are planning to have event, anniversary event that is coming up on Saturday. Are they all aware of this event?
Yes, they are aware. You know, there is office here, the Victoria office, led by somebody called Mading Malak. That was the office elected. Yeah. Is here, and they are actually the one organizing the venue. The celebration with us. We are communicating with other chapters. We are communicating with the New South Wales as well as Western Australia, and don't forget coronavirus and lockdown hinder our program. all aware. There's nothing out people to come together. Although we are communicating, telling them, the convention will be done through people have to register first because there are steps to be taken before we have a big meeting or to organize. SPLM is a membership organization. You can't just come here and go because we have how many SPLM do we have now? I don't want to answer that because we have so many SPLM. There are these SPLM IO and the SPLM ID and SPLM what? But the SPLM ministry where we are in is working, and that's where I am now. The different. Who are you talking to? Maybe these are the different SPLM.
Okay. All right. Riak, Agar, do you have question or Riak should ask a question? Riak, go ahead.
Let Riak come first, yeah.
And all the listeners and the viewers of Lex State Media.
Riak, your voice, raise
your voice a little bit. I think other people.
Okay, I greet you all. It's my pleasure to meet you again. As you know that I'm back home here where there's no light. My question is going direct to Honorable David Puondak. As you are a member of SPLMs, as well as the deputy chairpersons in diaspora or in Australia where you are. My question is, now within SPLM, there are so divisions as you have just mentioned. Is it legible for other SPLM member to stand for any political post within the country? 1. 2. What are your steps toward the unifications of the party, which is SPLM? 3. There's an article, or how do you say, within your SPLM concerning the votes. You do say that showing off of hands should be practiced within the party. I think you should have to eliminate that article because the cause of all this mess, as you know, might be one of that. So let that primary thoughts of showing off of hands be amended within your constitution. First, yes, we do believe, and a lot of people do say that we are a young nation. Do we have that intention of which we are going to spend other 21 years as we spend in liberation struggle, so that South Sudan will walk in full two legs as people describe? We are a young nation, a young child who cannot just be born and start working? No. These are the only question I want to put on. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Riak. Agar. Okay. David Puondak,
let
you can
him answer Riak first, yeah. Let him answer Riak first. Yeah.
Thank you, Riak Atwenymarol, for your question. Though there are multiple questions, but some of them will be answered in one or two. And bear with me if I did not answer one. You can remind me. First of all, I mentioned before, SPLM is a party that has a democratic principle. There were laws. Those laws are the one actually which organize the party. We have stages, and there is a stages. There is a Buma level, county level, state level, up to national level. People come through as delegate. When you are delegated by your own Payam or your own Buma, you come to the state and then the national level. Then you are free. If you want to be a leader, then you will be nominated. This is how we come up. We come through all these stages. If there is somebody in the party who is interesting to be a flag bearer in the future, then that's why now we are going to organize the SPLM. SPLM is going to organize, have conventions, and the leadership will go through process. If you want, if somebody in South Sudan is interesting to run for the for the SPLM party as the president, you are welcome. There are stages. You will come through your Payam, and then from your Buma to Payam to county, and so on. There's no question in that because it is there in the constitution. Second, you talk of hand. These are the things are addressed at the close convention. When the convention is taking place, people vote for which process are we going to take. You know, that one was done at the first time. Now, when we go for the second convention or the third convention, then there is a new rule. Even your suggestion be incorporated. If there is an idea that you don't like the show of hand, then it will be put down as a new procedure, because that's why it is a democratic process. Everybody has a say. In democratic society, your voice is count, and your vote also is considered. If you are defeated, even show of hand can come back. If majority say that show of hand is going to work, then the majority take it. That's a rule policy. In a question of 10 years, or let's say the South Sudan is a child. Look, who denied that? South Sudan is 10 years old. If South Sudan were a girl or a boy, would that girl get married at this age? Or if it is a boy, will it get married? This is the fact. And the challenge that I put forward, Comrade Riyadh, the answer, everything. The war, we know. Never, even now in our grassroots, people are still fearing, you know, because of that, which has taken place in 2013, continue, and it become a part of our culture. Now let's pray that this is the peace agreement is going to be implemented by spirit, and then we educate our people the importance of peace, then democracy will prosper, and the country will devolve. We'll bring in the expert people with, you know, we already have human resources. I told you before. I think we are on the way. We are on the track to bring the country back and to develop our country known as Sudan to grow. It won't be young anyway, and even now we can compare. South Sudan is not like the way we got it before. There are changes. There are changes now. Freedom of speech is a change in itself. You can find somebody under the tree insulting anybody, and nobody is going to intimidate or what, because your views are accepted. Country one, a country where you speak your mind, the country where you have your say. I think I answer you. If there is anything that I didn't answer, please let me know.
Okay, thank you, Honorable David, for the remarks that we have put it. Other one is, how are you going to unify the party? Because we do know, Ajama, SPLM is our mother party. Though you are not a member of the SPLM and you have been born in liberation struggle, you are part and parcel of the party. So, in our common sense, it is the party itself who is fighting in the country. Or if I'm not mistaken, there's no other political party which is fighting now with the government. It is within the SPLMs who divide itself and fight for the leadership. How are you going to unify your party so that you have peace in the country? Because there's no peace at all. If we talk of peace, there must be peace where there's security. But now, is our security guaranteed 100%? Never. Okay, there's a freedom of speech if you put as you put it. Freedom of speech, it has some limit, because I'm now on grassroots. I know what is going on. Ajama, South Sudan is ours. And if we talk realities, the realities be there now and forever. Nothing is difficult to be said. If we talk, that's where change comes. And if we talk without any positive impacts based on the grassroots, it means that we are doing nothing. So let peace be realized. Let implementation of the revitalized peace agreement be in place. Security arrangement is not yet done. And these are the things which make us behind. And if it is not done, are you thinking that, or do you think as a political party to conduct an election based on the time schedule, which is 2023? No. We don't have our how do you say, census. Do we know the census now of South Sudan? How many people we have? How many people we lost during the war? This senseless war, as we put it. No, and there's no election which should be conducted while there's insecurity, while we don't have a census. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Riak. That question also is direct to you by Bol Agutmal. You need to answer that as well with Riak questions. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Riyad. South Sudan is a country which is a member state in the world today. We are no longer low on democracy. SPLM will never unite it, or it will unite it, because if there is SPLM IO and the SPLM DC and there are other SPLM, why do you expect and they want to be to lead? This is the democracy. In democratic society, there are multiple parties. There are multiple parties. They are allowed. Take an example of Kenya. How many parties are in Kenya? There was one party before called Kano. SPLM is the mother party. And form your own party like SPLM IO, you are free. And that's why we say we don't need gun. We cannot take the country by post. Just let's go there to take it by boat. SPLM is ready to organize. And this is what we are going to do. If you want to join us, come. We will unite it. If you want to form your party, then form your party. And then come and challenge us through the boat, not through the gun or bullet. We are clear. This is a democracy. It's a well of democracy, my brother. There's no. We need to unite it. We went to Arusha, and we decided to unite it. Did they accept? They went back again and took the bullet. They decided again in 2016 to fight and continue with their agenda. Now we won. That's why we are focusing on a revitalized peace agreement to be implemented, to bring about the lasting peace, and people will go through election. Your party is strong, you are going to take it, because democracy is a game of numbers. Why don't we accept the facts? This is about the SPLM. To a question of Abu Nachol being arrested in Juba. No, I don't know what actually happening to Chol, because he might have broken some rule. Nowadays, if there is a always, particularly at the time of the lockdown, NASA is going to call the gathering of the people. That one, even here in Australia, people are getting arrested when you violate the law. I don't know anything about Father Chol, why he was arrested. I don't know it. But if he violate the law and under the pretext of being a pastor, then nobody is above the law. The law will take its course. That's what I can say about Father Chol, because I don't know much about why he was arrested. But if he in contempt with the law of the country, then that's the question of law, and I have nothing to say about that.
All right, thank you so much, Jibril. Alert, welcome to Lagos State Media. If you have a question, you can give it in Fursa Hagab.
والله أنا طبعا شكرا أيزاك وأنا بشكر لاجي ستيت تيم ميديا وبشكر ضيفكم ديفيد بونداك Honorable David. I'm honoring your speech, and all of us, we are happy to celebrate our Independence Day, but the day is gone. Yes, your speech reflected the grassroots problem in our home country, which is some of them you touch it, and some of them I think you leave it behind, which is all this. They're supposed to be touched or to be read out by our president, which is the first leader and the last leader of the nation. لكن الشيء الوحيد اللي أنا ممكن أنا أقوله لكم الأسئلة وتدخل بعض المشاكل المتعلقة بالقوانين ليس له علاقة بالسياسة الموجود، سياسة الراهن في الدولة. يعني أنا كنت يعني بطلب من الأكمرال اللي هو يتحدث قبل الأنصر بتاع ديفيد فونداك الأساسين تبعيد مسألة تتعلق كيفية تم الحبس على أبراهام شول، لأن دائما أي شيء مخالفة بالقوانين وكان قوانين الإجراءات الجنائية أو أي شيء أمر سيهي يعني ومن يخالفه فيخضع إلى المعاقبة بقوانين حسب نصوصه، فديك شيء مفروض كان يبعدوا مني شوية. لكن أنا عندي سؤالي لفندق، سؤالي كالآتي: التيمان لما يولدون في البيت إذا ربنا أداك 3 تيمان بتسميهم بالاسم واحد ولا بتسمي كل توم باسمه؟ عندنا في جينغ ولا في النوار في أي قبيلة عندك ngor اسمه ngor ده الأول، عندك شين اسمه شين ما بقوله ngor شين، عندك الثالث ممكن تسمي برضه بنفس الاسم تاني لكن ما بقوله ما بيجيبوا له ngor. وموجود نفس المثل ده في نوار وفي شلوك وفي إكواتوريا بنفس المفاهيم ونفس تقاليدهم. ليه المسألة ده الأسفل
وأمور
أمور ده أمور واحد منهم، ده من ضمن تيمان كان من ضمن تيمان يا وجين. ليه المسألة بتاعت SPLM بقت مجادلة الأسماء التيمان في الدولة؟ ما يعني يبقى كل الأعضاء أو السياسيين الموجودين في الجنوب ما قادر الأساس إنه يعني يفرض تعليمهم أو إداراتهم إلى شعب جنوب السودان بأي مسميات أخرى برا من SPLM. يعني ما ممكن أي واحد يمشي يقول يسمي اسم للفاتي خارج SPLM وينافس مع SPLM داخل الدولة. ليه كل الاسم SPLM DC SPLM in government SPLM IO in opposition؟ ما يقولوا حركة بلانية كده برا من SPLM برا من الحركة للشعب جنوب السودان مثلا في المعارضة، لأن SPLM ده كان اسم قديم وأنا طلبت الزمان إذا كان ده يا أبو قولوا مثلا ده الطلب الوحيد اللي بقوله ده السلاح اللي أنا هربه نبغى عرب ما من خليل أي زول البندقية واحد إذا جابوه إذا هم عسكريين أو سياسيين بندقية واحد لو جابوه ما بيمسكوا كل 10 عساكر عشان يضربوا به بدول عسكري واحد وناس فتش بنادق تاني يصلحوا به العساكر ديلك. إذا الاسم SPLM بقت بندقية اللي هو العرب وهر جنوب السودان ما يفتش بنادق تاني لجنوب السودان عشان يقدر إنه ينبهوا جنوب السودان سياسيا كده أو عسكريا. فعشان كده أنا بسأل ليه المسألة دي إذا كان البقية رفضوا اتفاقية أروشا ليه ما ذهب يسمي حزابهم بالأسماء أخرى ويخلي SPLM للSPLM اللي هو يعني الليدرشيب بتاعت رئيس الدولة؟ السبب شنو؟ السر في SPLM أنا ده أعرف.
Yeah. Can I go, Isaac?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. The answer.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jabril. Thank you very much for the question. Of course, that question is not our question because we are SPLM. It is a question of who name his party with the SPLM name, and that's why we call for democratic, process. You just register your party under the name that suit you. But now we accept. Are we not accepting peace? If we accept you with the SPLM, we can't even take you to court because we are the SPLM. But now you choose to stand with them, and still we need peace. That's why we allowed SPLM IO, SPLM DC, and SPLM G10. There's nothing wrong if they can win election under the same SPLM. It is up to them. Me, I cannot answer on their behalf. Why do they choose the SPLM? SPLM, of course, with the mother party. I said that before, and they decided to break away with what the so-called SPLM dead and SPLM Y. I really don't know, because it is a leader of the party who may have good answer why they did not form their party under different names. Back to Kockedhie, who asked why SPLM chapter in diaspora while we have a country embassy. In Australia, we don't see here. We don't have embassy. It is what the SPLM chapter to fight to bring the embassy. We need to have a consulate. And our delegation always been emphasizing that when we went to Juba. Hopefully, we are going to have our embassy here, and the SPLM will not go away. We'll be having a chapter. The chapter is a party that actually organized, and sensitize the people about party. SPLM is everywhere. You go to America, we still have SPLM, and there is embassy. Embassy is running the policy of the country, but SPLM is actually the policy of the party, and embassy is running the policy of the country, representing the country, and the country is not SPLM. SPLM is a party. Now we are here to abdicate to the government to bring the embassy. Hopefully, there are that we will be having our own embassy sooner or later. I hope so. Yeah, but even if we have embassy, don't forget we have SPLM also.
Okay.
Back to you.
الأخيرة قبل ما انتهي السؤال غير مقنع السيد ديفيد فنداك. سؤال غير مقنع، الإجابة غير مقنع. الإجابة اللي أنت جاوبتني به اللي هو مسألة يعني حتى ولو هنا في أستراليا حزب العمال مقرر، لكن حزب العمال بالاسم ما في المعارضة. وعندك برضو في أي دولة، وحتى في السودان الأم، حتى في السودان الأم عندنا حزب الأمة، حزب الشعب، حزب الوطن الاتحادي، حزب الشيوعي، والأخوان المسلمين. ده كل أحزاب كانوا بيمارسوا الديمقراطية في هذه الديمقراطية بتاعت الراهي رئيس الوزراء صادق المهدي. لكن إذا كان هنا في ديمقراطية في جنوب السودان، ليه الأحزاب كله تكون تحت اللواء بتاعت SPLM، وباعتبارهم كلهم المحاربين القدام الذين حرروا الدولة؟ طبعا لا يريدون أن يتركوا الاسم SPLM للإدارة واحد، وهم يفشلوا. يقول انتوا خرجتوا طبعا، ده اللي انتوا المفروض يعني ده منظور العام او منظوري شخصي انا. عشان كده انا بقول في فيليا او في مشروع تحت اداره SPLM in the government يهيب ان يوحد الدوله تحت حزب واحد زي بتاع جعفر نميري. حزب الاحرار طبعا ده هو تحت اداره بتاعت جعفر نميري قبل التغيير النميري بعد ما يخرب راسه، عشان هو طبعا هو مقل سياسيا لكن عسكري يعني كف عسكريا. عشان كده انا بقول اذا رئيس الجمهوريه عنده نيه لاساس انه الديمقراطيه تتباشر under one party in South Sudan is okay. ممكن ديل كلهم يقول لهم اننا عندنا اتفاقيه بتاع عروش لتوحيد الحزب، لأن الذين شكوا من الحزب وسموا SPLM IO كانوا أعضاء بتاعت SPLM من قبل. إذا كان أنا غلطان في النقطة دي ممكن تعملوا كوريكت. الثاني، أنا بشيد بالأحزاب اللي جو وسجل أسمائهم زي مجموعة الأحزاب في المعارضة، أحزاب الجنوبية في المعارضة سوى أنا بشيد بهم. لأن عندهم مسميات بتوعهم إن سانو جبهة جنوب في المؤتمر الوطني، وفي ما شابه ذلك في مؤتمر السودان الافريقي. ده كله احزاب، ده اللي هو ديمقراطيه صح. ما بي they are not fighting under SPLM because SPLM في زول بقول انا الليله لو انا قتلت كير البقي SPLM تاكير ده انا بضمه عليه او يستولوا كير، او اذا كير نزل من الحكومه SPLM بدي سي اللي هو هيمشي يسلم الاسم بتاع SPLM الام، او SPLM من ايو هيسلم اسم بتاع SPLM in a government. ده كله مخرجات موجود. هسه هنا ده انت بتقول شبته زي ما قال قبيله ترى شبته في دياسبرا، شبته في دياسبرا مواعد حاليا، وحتى شبته بتاع SPLM ايو خلاص سكت سكت حسب معرفتهم لانه جايين ينضموا. ليه ما في مناشده بتاع ممارسه سياسات بتاع باقي الاعضاء الاخرى؟ لان الناس كلهم منتمين على حزب واحد تحديدا يعني، وليس ديمقراطيا مفتوحا لشعب جنوب السودان.
Can I answer that question?
You know, Maluk,
Riak, you will answer that question. Riak want to answer the question, David, I think. Now raise your voice.
okay.
Go ahead, Riek.
Okay,
Go
thank you, Jabril. Yeah, my answer should be simple as it goes. The reason why other political parties who are the branches of SPLM to name their parties as SPLM in oppositions or DC or real SPLM is that we have a primitive society of which 80% of South Sudanese at grassroots are literate. What they have in mind is the name of the party SPLM during liberation. An example is in 2010 general election in Sudan, even the blanch do ask kwel mi naima urini naima wena shana kuta yeddo ni sod le naima le nas قاعد يقول انه الاركه الشعبيه هو ياو يزب العزيز ياو يزب الواقع مع الشعب ياو يزب بتاع حريه. فهنو كلام ده في ناس لما نقول لما تمشي في ولايات او في مقاطعات في جنوب السودان كله الحزب ناس بحاربيه ده أركة الشعبية. It's give them a chance of which if they name their parties as SPLM and then they put other letters, they will get the popularity at grassroots. When time of election come, then the people at the grassroots will still have that words which is SPLM. And if they heard of SPLM or if they hear of SPLM, they will vote for you. That's the reason why they name their party SPLM. And in fact, أنا قلت قبل السبب في جنوب السودان ما للجنوبيين كلهم، السبب لإزب الأركة الشعبية. مثلا الشعب قاعدين يشاكل هسه ده ناس بقانا موم ناس رياض مشاهد ناس منون ناس لاماكل ده واحد كلهم من إزب بتاع SPLM. فإنه أنا شايف السبب هم قاعد يشاكل ده جام في جام. There's a show within the party and that show others want to make a shortcut. That's why they branch out in order to take power. So that's my question. I mean, my answer. Thank you.
I thank you so much, Riak, for the brief answering. Agar, yep, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Brother Isaac, and welcome, Brother Jibril to Lagos State. Welcome, Brother Riak to Lagos State, and all our viewers. My question to our Honorable David Kockedhie Puondak is that because you mentioned the coronavirus pandemic is locking down everything within Australia wide, but back home you guys have communication with the base, which is the headquarters, which is South Sudan, the government in Juba. So my question is that when you say that pandemic shut down everything, what are your strategies to bring all the chapters within Australia wide together while the pandemic is not going anywhere? It's staying with us here forever. So what are your strategies to bring all the chapters Australia wide together? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Agaradeng. That's a very good question. Our strategies are clear. As long as coronavirus is not going away, we will continue to register. I say that SPLM is a membership organization. If you want to say, register first, have a membership, and then you participate. You come from the grassroots from all the state, and then as a delegate, you know, in the state of Queensland, where Isaac is, they will organize, send their members to the national convention, wherever it's going to take place, or their name. Now we will bring all this together and they elect their leader. That process is ongoing. It's not only here in Australia, but it will go over all over even in South Sudan. That's the work of SPLM to organize. You know, bring people through the convention. They have a convention and then that process is underway, and we are going to do it sooner. As I said, we'll do it very soon. We are now registering people. People are paying their membership fees, and they get the membership, and you know they will be delegated to come to the convention. Whether we'll do it online like we are doing it now, or the pandemic will ease itself, then the members will come together and will be communicate. Will be communicate as we are now celebrating. You know, you are aware what is going on in New South Wales. People are locked down there. Anywhere, even in Queensland, people are no longer free. Now, pandemic is not a hoax; it is true, but we'll go on with it. If it is not going away, then we have to plan. People, as we are telling people, you register first, get your member, and then we are going to go through convention very soon. That's the.
Thank you, Honorable David Kockedhie Puondak. And now we are going to drop the link. If anyone there is ready to come in, so you guys can come in, and we will do it shortly, because we will not be live until 2 hours or 3 hours, because it's just reflection, as our brother Honorable David Puondak said. So Isaac, you can drop the link, because there are some people who are requesting it. Yeah, thank you, Isaac. So the link is pinned down there, my brothers and sisters. So if you want to jump in, you can jump in and put on your input, or ask our honorable your question, and will be answered shortly. Thank you.
Solomon Dandara. This is the questions in Arabic. I can't read this. Agar, can you read that one out? Or what? Jibril Alad is coming, and yeah.
أنا عندي سؤال بسيط عن ممكن أتكلم؟
I. For those
أنا
who are
عندي
around,
تعليق بسيط.
your
عندي
question
تعليق
or
بسيط.
Sorry, Isaac, and I was on mute. Yeah.
Oh, you were talking.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead, Jibril.
I thought you were in by the dropping of the link.
Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead, Jibril.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Agar. Because I thought that you in your speech or your word by the drop the link. All right, that's why. I want to remark a bit about Silvan Dandra. His word he wrote there in Arabic. All right, Silvan Dandra. He will say that ما في زول بيمشي بيتنازع على حزب بتاع SPLM لأن هي حزبنا كلنا جميعا. الله تزين ده الحزب الأحرار الدولة. إذا ده حزب الأحرار الدولة ونحن الجنوبيين مقتنعين به لما وعدنا under لواء أو leadership بتاع SPLM كقوم واحد كشعب واحد كحزب واحد. لأننا بنعرض على الليدرشيب الموجود. إذا نحن كنا دايرينه نحن ما ننزل عليه. ده واحد. ثانيا السودان لما يتحرر بعد المهدية وبعد الإنجليز في حزب اسمه اللواء الأبيض. اللواء الأبيض ده مكون عسكري ومدني، كان فوق ناس علي عبد اللطيف، وهربوا السودان بعد خروج الإنجليز. والسودانيين فهموا في هذا الأثر وعادوا إلى أحزابهم القديم، رجعوا لأحزابهم على أساس إنه يقدر يجيب أجيال ويجيب الفهم بتاع التنمية ينافس بوه عشان يصلبوا السودان. إذا كان أنتم عندكم مفاهيم لتحسين الوضع بتاع جنوب السودان ومفاهيم بتاع يعني إنكراج يعني مسألة بتاع تشجيع أجيال بتاع جنوب السودان، ليه ما سجلتوا أحزاب أخرى بمفاهيمكم العلمية التنموية الوحدوية، أو تجيب تادي إدارة توحد تادي إدارة بتاع SPLM بدون معارضة؟ ده حكومة بتاع دينكا، وده حكومة بتاع نوير، وده حكومة بتاع زاده، وده حكومة بتاع باريا. ليه ما خليتوا حاجات ده كله وتوحدوا under leadership بتاع SPLM؟ إذا leadership بقى ويك زي ما انتوا بتقولوا للرئيس، ما بيشيلوه بعد الإلكشن ويقول اننا دارين زول تاني، مو عشان الناس تخرج ويقولوا لي اللي يشيلوه بالسلاح. إذا ناس زي سلمان ددرا يا هونربل ديفيد، انت ممكن تجاوب على الكلام بتاع سلمان ددرا دي. إذا كان هنا هي نحن بنهيب SPLM، ليه نحن ما وعدنا اندر إدارة بتاعت SPLM؟ ليه نحن بنشك وبنهاجم بعضنا قبليا؟ ليه؟ ده question بتاعي.
Okay, thank you. First, let me answer Solomon Dandara. In brief, you might have answered it in your own way, but let me say this. My friends, SPLM it's not just only a party. Of course, it was a movement transformed to a party, and only SPLM was a liberation movement in Africa. We have ANC, and he's now still ruling in South Africa. We have Kanu, which was actually liberating a liberation movement in Kenya. We can come. Yeah, you're right. It is the party that has actually liberated the country. But if you have that idea to bring change, why don't you go and form your own party? I think Jabril already answered that to you, Solomon. We need a country where people are competing with ideas, with the policies. Not now they went away with the guns and come and shoot the people because they want to change SPLM. Is that the only way that we can change, help our country bring change? This is what we are saying. Okay, come in, whatever you are, SPLM or you are whoever you think you are, then they come and build our country. SPLM is for all, of course. SPLM liberated the country and want to take the country ahead to make it a peaceful country. Now you run away with your piece of SPLM, call it SPLM something else. Is it our problem? It's not our problem. It's the problem of somebody who ran away. Change it, give it a name, and come back and challenge the government. That's what it is. That's what's going on all over the world. You form your party, and no one can come and say, why do you allow them to name a child the way the child want to be named? Some people can name Deng, 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 three Dengs. And then if they wanted to name it like that, what's wrong with it? It is not our problem in SPLM. It is the problem of those who name their own party. I'm telling my friend Solomon, SPLM, of course, liberated the country, and it is the same leadership which we follow in the bush, is the leadership in the country now. What's wrong with it? Why we are changing this? And we know there are stages. If you need a shortcut, then form your party. In SPLM, there is a queue. There are stages. There is Liberation Council. There is a political bureau. There is a leadership, which is sectarian. If you want to come in there, just come, slowly, and you will go there. I think that's the only. It is our party, but the party has a principle, and there are procedures in the party. You cannot just come and say, okay, I am a member of SPLM. Let me just get in. Come through the way I've been explaining. Get registered. Come through label. Buma, from your Buma to Payam to county to the state, and then come to Juba. If you want to challenge a leadership, do it there. That's what they did. It is done through the conference, not through the bush. Now we object this one. Fighting is no good. If you want to be an SPLM party, come there. Come to the box, not the bullet.
All right. Thank you so much. Welcome the new faces, Honorable Solomon Dandara, and my brother Arnold Bill, my brother Santino Majur. Jabril Alad, we will leave you behind. Let the new people, if they have a question, I will start with those who came first, and then you can come back again. Yes. Yes, Agar.
Our sister Mary Moore, we don't call people. We just pin the link down there.
Your network have a problem.
So that you can come in. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's saying that we can call her, but we can't.
Okay.
Just take the link and come in.
Thank you. All right. Arnold Benjamin, Faddal. Welcome to Lagos State Meet.
Yeah, thank you guys for letting me in. And I want to thank the panel and our brother David for the explanation that he tried to explain the SPLA. I'll be here for like just 1 minute. I have just a question and then I will be dropped off because I have some program I'm doing right now. But I just say that I have some questions I have to ask quickly and then I will see. So my question to you, my brother David, what are the achievements for the last 10 years that SPLA have been achieved in terms of health, education, infrastructure, and even peace right now? Well, approaching almost 11 years, and nothing has been done. So can you explain to us so that some people of South Sudan to know what's going on really? For the last 10 years, not just 2 or 3 years, we have achieved nothing. Our children, they're still going to Uganda, Ethiopia, and elsewhere for education. Our people going to Sudan, even former Sudan, for healthcare and beyond. What are the fundamental thing that SPLM and SPLA put it down so that to let South Sudanese people to hope for the new things are coming? This is my question also. I need to answer. I need to hear the answer from somebody like you within the SPLM. That's it. That's my question.
Go for it, David.
Let me first go, Santino. Let me answer this first, then you will come later. Yeah, thank you for the question, and I also welcome the new faces because the only mistake is that people come after I already presented the achievement. Arnold, this thing I mentioned them before during my presentation, but you came in late. But I will give you a feedback. What do you achieve? Sudan was not independent. It was a part of Sudan, and people of South Sudan were suffering for years, half a century, since 1947. Our people have been in struggle to have freedom, to get identity, to have the country they call home. And we got it in 2011. That one is the SPLM. SPLM did it. It was not just been given to before we lost life. And the same leadership which is now in the country, that one itself, to have a flag, to have a country, to have a note. After independence in 2011, since we got our independence, we achieved a lot. I myself, I was elected in 2010 together with President Salva Kiir. Now, Southern Sudan never get a freedom before to go through the ballot box. But with the mighty SPLM and SPLA, we are given a freedom to exercise our democratic right, and we elect our leaders. Salva Kiir was elected. Nobody nominated him. He came through ballot. People come and challenge him, and then he came up. That was an achievement. There is freedom of movement. Country of the needs, where you have your say. That one was an achievement. Apart from that, there are thousands of students being graduated. Do you know that even President himself, he contributed in foreign countries when our institution, Baragazal, Afanal University, were not stand strong at the early stage to money. Call one time support to the in Uganda and in here. Is it not a support? Is it not an achievement? And they graduate. They are now working. Whether you are working with the UN or you are working somewhere else, the president has contributed to the development of the country to produce the human resource the South Sudan won. And you have seen in your own eye, the last graduation can tell that South Sudan is producing the human resource that to take over the country to help to develop. We have road now. But I drive from Juba to Rumbek. If it is not the insecurity caused in 2013, where do you think we would be now? Would there have been a country like another country in East Africa? It is because of the same element of the guy independent. We are talking now. What do we think? With all these challenges of fighting in the country, South Sudan prosper. We have hospital. Go to Rumbek, where I come from. We have Kirmayadit Hospital, one of the best facilities in Rumbek. And there are so many things to mention. The same thing, we have John Garang University in Jongole. What do we when we don't have them during the government of Khartoum? Some people may wish us to go back to Khartoum, but we said because we are capable of doing all these things under the leadership of SPLM has tried. We have our embassies, we have our businesses, we have people, crossing to other countries, trying to present our students, our athletes, they went represent.
Honorable David, you are freezing, so can you adjust your network? If you can hear us.
Pardon?
Honorable David, can you hear us?
You can't hear me?
Your network is freezing sometimes, so it's cutting your speech.
Yes? Yeah, I hear you, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Also, yeah.
Oh.
Is having issues with the internet, with the network. So welcome again, my brothers and sisters. Honorable Salman Dandara, welcome to Lagos State Media. Satino Majur, welcome to Lagos State Media. Arnold Bill, welcome to Lagos State Media. And the rest who are looking for the link, please, the link is pinned down there. just grab it from there, yeah, because I cannot call you. If you are not my friend on Facebook, so I can send you the link through your messenger too. So be ready. Go on,
Hello,
Honorable.
big brother God.
Kockedhie, you finish, yeah? Okay, Santino Major, yeah, welcome, yeah, to ask your
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Santino Major.
Can I finish with the bill?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
okay.
finish with the bill. Okay, Kalas, Major,
Let me
go ahead.
finish, says Santino. Yeah.
Go on.
Now, Bill, all these challenges we accept, and these are our challenges as South Sudanese. The one say peace is priority. To bring a peace to our country, to control guns. We would have developed through, we could have produced our own food if there is peace in the country. If those in 2013 did not, we would have, we bring the war. We used to give it the little we make in our own hands. What's wrong now if we were in peace? We would have used technology to have enough food in the country, and our children not suffer anymore. But with war, that's why we're here today. 10 years, we've done all challenges. The challenges of war in 2013, challenges of the war of 2016, and we continue to bring the country back with universities being built, including Rumbek University is there, and we are graduating our students. We have facilities, even if they are not efficient enough because of lack of communication and road. Country, we are seeing this big road Juba through Jongole, and we also have this road, which is the main road from Juba to Rumbek to Northern Barghazal up to Unity State. These are the programs. We will want peace. We are going to be connected all over in our country by the same government. That government has a program that took us to Bush. Is still the program. We will take this country ahead, like other countries in the world in this country. And I said it before. We are here in Australia. How long will Australia come to this state? And it's because it's a peaceful country, that's why they get this. And the same thing to those who are in America. Some of our people actually in America or somewhere else, even those in Khartoum, they think they need South Sudan to grow quickly like Khartoum. No, Khartoum has been there, and he looted South Sudan to build Khartoum. We didn't loot anybody. We are not trying to establish the country. Let's build the country together. Stop division. The division is the one actually killing South Sudan. Division, more regulation, Gabilia, all these things coming from the people and the leadership that we are supporting. But with our current leadership, we must unite it and the country will go on. Thank you. I hope I answered you, Bill.
You try, yeah, you try. Yeah, you try.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for answering.
Maybe from network. You did not hear some. I said a lot. Maybe because of network.
Yeah, thank you so much. Anyway.
If you have any doubt, so you can put some in again. Yeah, but now we can allow.
Yeah, we have another question for you.
Yeah, just hang on.
I want to excuse because I'm working. I will leave.
So,
I want to excuse you guys.
Thank you.
I'm working.
The channel
belong to. Can I say salam for all of you?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Go on.
I want to say salam for all of you. All right. Arnold Bill, Silman Dandro, and Honorable David, and the other guest who is in the board. أنا بسلم عليكم. I'm happy for a question to Arnold, and David was right, as we saw all of us. But in reality, I want you to end this show with a successful some of things. You know, I'm very happy. In Arnold Benjamin Bill and Sylvan Dandra, you are guest of this show with Honorable David Puondak. Go ahead, and later on, when I review the show, I want the show to end up with the unity and peace. Please.
Yep.
That is my
Amen.
last word.
Amen.
And thank you very
Agreed.
much.
Amen.
Thank you, brother.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yo,
Now, Salam Dandara, welcome.
you are
Join
welcome.
us.
Thank you.
Coach Leg State Media watch more than one.
Good one, Red.
Yeah. أنا مبسوط نكون وسطكم. I will talk in Arabic because I want to express myself in a good way. My name is Suleiman Dandara. I joined the SPLM SPLA 1990. I'm a soldier, and I work with Iberlino, and أنا كنت السفير بتاع بعد إدوارلينو في ليبيا. أنا السفير اللي كنت ماسك بعد ليبيا. في وسترن بارغزال أنا السفير الوحيد بتاع الحركة الشعبية في زمن الدكتور جون. أنا شفت رومبيك وحضرت المؤتمر بتاع رومبيك. أنا الزول بتاع مجلس التحرير. أول حاجة أنا بحيي الناس كلهم وبحيي كاميرا ديفيد، هونربل ديفيد زي أنا ما بسمعه بيقولوا هونربل، لازم نسميه باسمه برضه هونربل ديفيد. أنا داير أوضح حاجات، بس أول حاجة لازم اللغة بتاعنا يكون لغة بتاع سلام. ما في حرب هسه عشان إحنا نتكلم بلغة بتاع حرب. ما في حرب، إحنا في سلام. ولما نكون في سلام لازم نفتش شنو اللي خلانا نختلف شنو أصلا. قبل ما نمشي في أي حاجة نوضح 2 حاجات. الحركة الشعبية ده بتاع أي جنوبي بيملك الحركة الشعبية، ما محتاج يسجل اسمه، لأنه الحركة الشعبية ما حزب. الحزب ده بكونه عشان زول يكون دار سلطة. يعني الناس بيعملوا حزب عشان انتوا تمشوا تعملوا الكشن تخشوا في السلطة. لكن الحركة الشعبية وقت كونوا ما كونوها عشان سلطة، كونوها عشان يحرروا الناس. ما عشان يحرروا الناس من حاجة، يحرروا الناس من القبلية اللي احنا هسه بنتكلم فيه ده، من الجهوية، من التحميش، من شمالين. فالحركة الشعبية ده التاريخ بتاع كل الجنوبيين، أي زول ساهم فيه، أي زول قاعد هنا ساهم فيه. ما ملك بتاع ناس محددين عشان يقول ده ملك بتاع فلان. يعني هو زي ابونا. انا كان سليمان زيلتا، انا بطلع نمشي نكون حركه شعبيه، اسمي لسه حركه شعبيه، ما انا جانا حركه شعبيه. انا ما ماشي نغير اسمي. الزول اللي بغير اسمه ده عنده اجنده ثانيه. نحن كلنا شايلين اجنده جديد قديم اسمه السودان جديد، ما طبقناه. السودان الجديد بتاع دكتور جون دليل احنا ما طبقناه. هو موجود لكن احنا فشلنا نطبقه. حاجه مهم جدا انا داير اقول لاخوي برضه، ما فيش انتخابات عملناه في من حررنا من استغلينا. ان احنا الانتخابات اللي عملوها ان احنا في جنوب السودان الواحد كلنا حضرنا الانتخابات ده، هنا في جنوب السودان الواحد. لحد هسه من انتخابات بتاع السودان ده ليوم الليله في الجنوب ما عملنا انتخابات. فمساله الانتخابات ده خلينا نخليه بالطرف. نجي للحاجه المهم جدا. انا للان انا حركه شعبيه، وانا من هنا عشان تصدق انا بحيي السيد الرئيس سلفا كير ميادت، لانه انا اشتغلت معه شخصيا، مش حاجه بعيد. يعني انا اشتغلت معه وقابلته شخصيا كذا مره في رومبيك في ليبيا وجه ليبيا وكده. الشيء اللي انا داير اقوله شنو؟ احنا بالمستوى بتاع الكلام بتاعك وبمستوى التفكير بتاعك ده حنظل نلف في دايره واحد، ما حنطلع. لو احنا قاعدين نتكلم بنفس اللغه بتاعك وبنفس التفكير بتاعك ما حنطلع. We are not going anywhere. لانه اصلا مش انا اقدر نقول سيبنا أنا المعارضه، خلينا انا معارضه، لكن في كومندرات كبير زول زي اويناكوت. لان لو كومندر ده من لو اويناكوت ده نحن بنسميه ابو الحركه الشعبيه الان، ولانه اقدم زول واعلى زول بنسموه ابو الحركه الشعبيه. اذا هو اغر قال انه نحن فشلنا ما عملنا اي حاجه. كومندر كوال من يانجو قال نحن فشلنا ما عملنا اي حاجه، سيبنا انا يعني احنا سيبنا احنا المعارضه ده خلينا بالطرف كده. انت ما ممكن تجي هنا تبرر. بعدين يمكن انت ما قاعد تحضر الليج ستيت ميديا ده. لو انت قاعد تحضر الليج ستيت ميديا ده كنت بتعرف انه انت ما ممكن تقول كلام ده الناس يصدقوه، لانه مساله الفشل بتاعنا موجود بدون حرب. ترسيب حرب رومبيك ما فيه حرب، رومبيك ما حصل فيه حرب، واللي رومبيك ما قادر يستعدل. وراب ما حصل فيه حرب، شوف وراب شكله كيف. المساله دي ما مساله مربوط بحرب، المساله مربوط بالاداره، مساله ما عنده علاقه بحرب خالص. يعني نحن من 2000، نحن من 2010 بدا الانفلات. انا كنت شغال مع جفرنر بولمدو من
الاسباب اللي شالوه بالمدد عشان جابوه توردن موين لو انت سمعته تستغرب كيف. وانا كنت اقرب زول لو بعرف اي حاجه، انا كنت ماسك مدير بتاعت مراسل. اللي انا داير اقوله هنا الليله ان احنا الجنوبيين الحركه الشعبيه ده بتاعنا نحن كلنا، ما في زول بيقول الحاجه ده بتاعه. وابهاتنا بدوم زي انت ما قلت من 48. ده نضال، ده ما حزب. المشكله الان احنا ما دارين نواجه نفسنا بالطريقه الصحيحه. يعني هسه انا مضيت سلام، انا مقتنع انه لازم البلد ده يمشي بسلام. ولو انت شفت وسرا بحر غزال، يمكن وسرا بحر غزال اكثر، بما انه كان فيه حرب، اكثر منطقه هسه امن في بحر الغزال الكبرى، واغلب الناس بتاع ليج ستيت وبتاع اويل وبتاع ده قاعدين في وسرا بحر غزال. فالمساله المنتاليتي بتاعنا فيه مشكله. خلينا نكون واضحين، نتكلم بطريقه عشان نطلع بلدنا عشان نمشي قدام. احنا عندنا مشكله بتاعت انه ما قادرين ندير حاجه اللي احنا عايزينه، ما خدينا فيجن. يعني انت زول بتاع حركه شعبيه، انا زول من سنه 90. شوف من سنه 90 هسه كم، قريب كم 30 سنه، ووصلت المرحله بتاع سفير. لما انا نجد نكون انا قاعد انت تصفني انه تقول انا معارضه، ونلقى توتي او المستشار بتاعك، بتفتكر انت الشغلانه كيف شكله؟ معناه في خلل في المشكله. فاحنا هسه كده خلي الكلام الورق، احنا من هنا كده، انا وانت من هنا هسه هنا في سلام، دارين نعمل شنو؟ البلد ده خربناه. ما في زول يقول انا ما خربناه، كان معارضه احنا خربنا، كان انتوا الحكومه خربنا، وجينا عملنا سلام. هسه انا وانت قاعدين في سلام، ما في حرب، ما في بندقيه قاعده كوري. برنامجنا شنو؟ ماشيين وين؟ ما دي هو المساله المفروض ان احنا نقول لما نجي هنا نناقش كلام زي ده. لكن كلام انه احنا حرب وشنو، وبعدين انت ما ممكن تقول. شوف انت قلت كلام خطير جدا، انا ما قبلت منك لما تقول انه المواطنين الجنوبيين ignorance، ما بيعرفوا اي حاجه، عشان كده زول بيجي بيفتش نجمه يصوت له. ده استهتار وعدم معرفه، لانه الزول اللي بيحرر نفسه بيمشي بوش عشان يشاكل، ده ما زول جاهل. زول داير يحرر نفسه من يعني الدنكاوي اللي قاعد في البلد الشال سلاح مشى خش مع دكتور جون. هل هو كان عشان داير يكون وزير؟ كان داير يكون عنده اسم شنو؟ نو، هو عارف نفسه انه في حاجه خطا وداير يصححه. والزول لما يكون عارف انه في حاجه خطا داير يصححه، معناه ده زول واعي جدا جدا. احنا اللي خذلنا الشعب، احنا القاده اللي خذلنا الشعب، ما في مواطن جنوبي خذلنا. انت اسال نفس الكلام، انت قاعد تقول دينكا قاعدين يكرهون. الحركه الشعبيه ده وقته كله قاعد في استوايه. مشكله امشي جاي بيوت بتاع ناس سلفاكير، والوكيل الرئاسه بتاع سلفاكير قاعد كان في زمن الحرب. انا وكيل جيت رومبيك، الرئاسه بتاع سلفاكير قاعد سمعت يوم واحد ناس اكواتوريا عملوا مشكله مع دينكا في زمن الدكتور جو، او قالوا يا اخي ده بلدنا اللي الناس قاعدين فوق. قال له ما في كلام زي ده. احنا يا قاعدين نخلق الحاجات. وسترن بار غزال ده نوريك حاجه. هسه انت بتقول سليمان دندره عشان هم قاعد ضدينك. الجفرنر بتاع وراب اللي هو علينا كوماندر علينا سيد الجفرنر، الاستثمارات بتاعه قاعد في واو، ما عملوا في وراب. لا، وراب ما امن ذات. فما تربط الكلام ده بحرب، اربط الكلام ده بفشل. لو انت داير تاكد لك فشل يهرم بيك قدامك. هسه عملوا حكام جديد، ما عملوا سنه غيروا حاكم ثاني. عنده علاقه بحرب؟ ما عنده علاقه بحرب. فنحن محتاجين كمتعلمين نقعد تحت. والسلام، انت عارف سلام نحن فاشلين ليه؟ ما قادرين نعمل سلام لانه قادرين نعمل سلام فوق كموظفين. نحن قاعدين فوق، ما نحن موظفين، انت موظف انا موظف وكده. السلام ده بيجي من تحت، من السلاطين تحت. دكتور جون زمان وكنت حاجات بيعملوه، الاكل بتاع الجيش ما كان الناس الفوق قاعدين يعملوا، بيعملوا السلاطين. الصلح، شوف ما ينين مونيا جدي سلطان اسمه جين مروال دور في جناكوك. انا تربيت مع دينكا، انا دينكا اكثر من يمكن ناس ثانيين هنا الولدوم ديالكم الولدوم في استراليا. I know what is دينكا. زمان ما في دينكا وكذاب، ما في دينكا وحرامي، ما في دينكا وسحار. 3 حاجات ده ما في دينكا بيعمل نهائي. they don't do it. انا جدي بخش جوا بنوم من الساعه 5. اجين مالوال دور بنوم من لما نساله ماله بقول عشان ما في زول يقول كان في حاجه عملوه بالليل انا ما فوق. الناس شافوا لي انا نمت. المساله الان ان احنا دايرين سلام، وعشان نعمل سلام نعمله من جراس روت من السلاطين بتاعنا، نعمل السلام بالمستويات بتاعت البلد. يعني انا في واو لو في دنكاو في واو انا نعمل معه حاجه اسمه سدم، نقطه دم معه، لما هو يلقى مرتي ولا يلقى بنتي ولا يلقى حاجتي خربه هو بيموت. ولما انا نمشي نلمس حاجه بتاع دينكا، وانا ذاته المشي نلمس حاجه دينكا ده انا يا بموت. السلام بتاعنا تحت. احنا حاليا كده نسالك سؤال، انت زول بتاع حركه شعبيه، الجيش بتاعنا ده الجيش بتاع حركه شعبيه لو 6 شهور ما صرف بياكلوا من وين؟ تفتكر قاعدين ياكلوا من وين؟ الناس قاعدين ياكلوا من المواطنين. الجنوب ده كله الدوله حولوه انه الدوله انك بدوك دبوره ولا بدوك وظيفه وبفكوك تمشي تاكل من المواطن. يعني انت بأهلوك تكون حرامي تمشي تسرق من المواطن بوظيفه بالرسم، لانه كان ما في الناس كان ما في زول شغال. احنا ما تقول لي الجامعات اللي عندنا ده ورثناه من الشماليه. عندنا 3 جامعات جينا في شنو الجديد؟ جامعه بورده ما شغال. انت زول قاعد في اوروبا لما تشوف الجامعات اللي في الجنوب ده، انت زول قاعد في استراليا لما تشوف جامعه يقول لك جامعه جوبا، انت ممكن تقارنه بجامعه في استراليا، ممكن تقبل انه ده جامعه. انا قاعد في كندا، انا شفت حاجات اللي في كندا، انا مشيت القون اسمه شنو يونيفرسيتي، لما نمشي نشوف زي بلد زي ده ونمشي نقولوا ليه جامعه جوبا ده جامعه، انا بصدق. هل ده نحن حاجه اللي نحن حاربنا عشان نعملوا لاهلنا يا هو حاجات دي اللي انت تقول اننا عملنا تنميه ده؟ انا داير اقول لك حاجه، الليج ستيت ميديا ده انا طرحت برنامج ده، قلنا يا جماعه خلينا نخلوا كلام فشل وحاربنا وشنو، خلينا نخليه في ظهرنا، نطلع لخطوه جديده. طالما عملنا سلام خلينا نطلع نتكلم بلغه جديده، نخلص بس نخلص. انت ما قلت اسمع، ده واحد من المشاكل، ده ذات واحد من المشاكل. انا هسمع، انا اسمع، انا هسمع، انا هسمعك ما تستعجل، انا هسمع. انت اسمعني، انا هسمع. والزول الماسك اداره هذاك الزول ده جاب الدين تايم، انت ما تتدخل. الزول ده بتاع البوزر ده مكير اسمه شنو جاب بوزر. اصبر بس خليني اخلص كلامي دقيقتين. انا اول كونكلود.
Yeah, because there is a lot of people are in the panel, and also we have been here for 1 hour and a half, so you need to ask a question. Yep.
I will conclude.
So that's
انا ده
okay.
نقوله انت ما ممكن تنكر ان احنا في سلام، دوله هسه في هذا سلام، وقعنا سلام. ان احنا لما نجي نطلع للجمهور بتاعنا ما نطلع تاني زي ان احنا قاعدين نتكلم عندنا حرب. لازم نطلع ان احنا عندنا سلام ودايرين نعمل خطوه جديده لقدام. لغتك بتتكلم بوده ما بقدمنا ما بمشي. انا داير لما نجوا هنا نقول يا جماعه يا اخي نحن خلينا نقعد تحت نعمل سلام ونعمل وحده بيناتنا. ما في حاجه اسمه دينكا، ما في حاجه اسمه نوير، ما في حاجه اسمه ده اللغه اللي نحن ممكن نمشي بها قدام. لكن لو انت داير تجي تلومني تقول بلد فشل عشان حرب، I don't think this is will help us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our Honorable Salman Dandara, for your input. So, Honorable David Puondak, you can answer him, and then Pastor John Mayor is here also.
I will answer him briefly.
Okay, that's very good. Then you go on.
I will answer him briefly. And yeah, thank you. I will answer him briefly. Actually, I want you, Lake State Media, to mindful of the time, because we are in different places. Maybe you have a good time in your area, and other people are going to do something else because our children are at school and go and bring them back home. That's with you on time before. Those who came after I presented my statement, they may come in now to rebase everything. But still, I will answer my friend Solomon briefly. Thank you very much, Ambassador Solomon. And at the same time, because you have been SPLM, even if you decided to go your own way or you are still with us, we appreciate your contribution to the movement. Let me tell you this. I'm not speaking in a language of war. You might have misunderstood me, but I'll make it clear. I am telling those opposition to come and support the revitalized peace agreement signed by the SPLM and the other parties. That's the only hope in the country. You might not have that. And I'm going to tell you now, that's what I'm saying. SPLM government, I'm still in SPLM, but you might have left SPLM. What do you think I can say? You may think Jamajuba is not a university. That's your opinion. But before you, there was Jamajuba. You know, those who graduated in Jamajuba, they are the leaders now in the country. Now, why do we discredit our own, our own facilities? It is a facility of South Sudan. We don't need it to be like University of Toronto or Oxford. There will be a time where children will make it the way they want it. Our fathers did it. They have Jamajuba and they're still there. And we have to appreciate what they are doing in the country. Anyway, we are for peace. We are for peace. And the little we did, we need to build on it. We don't want to say that one is not being done. We have done something small there. Okay, there's no election, of course, I agree with you. It was election done 2010. But you know that election would have taken place in 2015. And then the war broke out in 2013. Where were we now? Because those who initiated the war, they are the one now speaking in the language of war. We are not one because they know what they are. They gossip. They walk around all over the world trying to disgrace the government. The government that actually established something we call home today. We never had. Do we have South Sudan before like that? If it was not SPLM where you participate in it, Salva Kiir was the commander, you know it. And he's the leader up to today. I'm not saying we don't need to go through changes. But we in the SPLM say we don't need war. Those who talk war, they are the one who bring war. Why don't you form your party? See, I mentioned ANC. The African Congress Party, in South Africa. Was SPLM, KANU in Kenya. I can mention many parties. They start to a movement and they transform into the political party. And that's what SPLM did. Why do you say SPLM is a party for all? Okay, we didn't refuse. That's why you have SPLM IO, you have SPLM DC, you have whatever. Name it SPLM. But SPLM in Sudan, where your commander is now a president, is the SPLM that we are talking about. We have challenges, we accept. The country is in turmoil. We have been, attempt with the war twice. War of South Sudan, not war with Northern Sudan. The war initiated by you people, by those who think that Dinka or Nuer or all of this, those who have that language. Now you put it correct. For one, I was in Yambio. I was in Yambio during the struggle. You know what? We were united. I know everywhere in South Sudan. But with this language, which we've been borrowed from somewhere, that's why our country is behind. SPLM who have division. Those who knows how to do people that actually to do, people don't say come and support the Republic peace agreement. That's what we are saying, man. Maybe my tune is different. But I'm telling you, South Sudan will grow, will develop like other countries. There are countries now who are almost 50 years in Africa. And they are not like Canada you are in now. That is just the reason. We don't need to develop South Sudan like Canada as one as we think. No, we'll come slowly. I know development is not easy. It needs a lot. You can graduate years of who, and then you will not do country. Okay? I appreciate your input. You might actually help to tell you, many people actually, when you have a problem with one, you make it a problem of Dinka. If you have one person who occupied your land when you are not there, you say, okay, the land has been grabbed. These are the issues of the country and the government is ready to solve them. The government is ready now to solve them. Now, it's going to with all of you, whether come in a court of SPLM or come in a different party, you are a South Sudanese. You are highly welcome, and we need to talk a language of peace. Of course, we are talking a language of peace, my friend. And we need peace. That's why we say, join hands together, the Republic peace agreement, workable. Because 2015 would have having different thing now. Maybe Solomon would have been the president if 2013 were not actually created to be a nightmare. Why do we achieve, and you know exactly 2013 after independence? The gun already followed. They were disconnected. People were sick. No even stability. And you ask, you know it exactly. And somebody with the gut still asks, say, why you don't devolve? While we are engaged to bring people to the country. Now, there's peace. What comes to peace, the Republic peace agreement, and we'll continue, at least to close the gap that you think has been lost. You know, that gap cannot be bridged only by the government in Juba. You need all opposition. You need anybody with input, with your idea. Come and improve Jama Juba in the state. Come and help. You know, we cannot just stay there in distance and say that we'll see the thing. Thank you.
Time, honorable time.
Yeah, I have 2 questions before I go because I want to leave the show.
Before you ask, Riak, before you ask 2 questions, our pastor John Mayor is here before you, and also Honorable David Puondak is going somewhere else, so maybe he's going to pick up his kid from the school. So we'll make it short. I will give each one 3 minutes. If that's possible, Honorable, you can answer that. So I will give them 3 minutes, but Abuna John Mayor, I will give him 5 minutes because he never spoke.
You give him a chance. You give him a chance.
Okay, yeah, come on then. Riak?
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. My 2 questions are to Honorable David Kockedhie Puondak. 1, as a member of SPLM party, do you have a hope that there will be an election in 2023? And if that hope is there, at which degree that you expect your party will win an election again? 2, why don't you separate your party and the army? Because we have SPLM, SPLA, and your branches, including the opposition, the main opposition led by Riek Machar, has another SPLM, SPLA, IO. Why don't you separate the party from the army so that the army should be neutral? Because this is the mess now in the country. Whenever you mix the two, the army and the party itself, it becomes difficult. It means that we have stronghold based on political and military wings. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Thank you, Brother Riak. Honorable, go ahead.
Yeah. At least to save time, let me just go quickly. You know, elections is actually the program of the government since 2011. An election cannot be conducted when there is no peace. We need people to move. For those who are going to contest, the constituencies need first to get a relative peace. That's why now our priorities is to bring peace to the country. If the peace is there, then people are going to be counted. There is census to take place. Why do you want to go get like this parliament now? That's what people want actually. They just want to be nominated, go plug in the parliament. They don't want to go and see exactly the constituencies. You know it here, wherever people go to where you come from. You go to your electorate. They elect you to go to the parliament. Now government is going to count the people, make the boundaries when there is peace. And if there is no peace, the demarcation will not take place. That's why our priorities is peace. And if peace is in the country, we demarcate, we count the people, and then the election will take place. If we can do it next, what's wrong? If we can do all these things next year, is in place in 2022, then what can stop us not to contest in 2023? You will come up. And the issue of SPLM, SPLA, there's no more SPLA. There's nothing called SPLA now. There's South Sudan people depend on us. SPLM remain in the history. SPLM is a party. These are 2 things we need to differentiate them. Don't say anything that we have SPLA now. SPLA is a history. We don't need to forget it because it's our history. And Solomon can prove me wrong because he was an SPLA soldier. Now, if you go back again to the army, you will not be called SPLA, you will be called South Sudan Defense Force. That's the only army we know in the country, is the United Army. And we are continuing.
They're doing one with political party. That's why I know.
Yeah, I don't. You know, I know, but I know so far in the party that we have an independent army, and we have a party, ruling party called SPLM. It is a, you can SPLM before now. President commandership, no matter which party the person come from, election will come. It is the program of the government to see peace in place, and then election will come quickly as soon as there is peace in the country.
Thank you, Honorable David Kockedhie Puondak, for answering React question. And now I will give a chance to our pastor, John Mayer. But before you, pastor, I will take it away again to brother Santino Majur, because he come and drop. He kind of come and drop. He having a lot of trouble with his own network. So Santino Majur, you grab that chance to ask a question before you drop out again. Thank you, Abuna.
Pastor John Mayer and David. I have a problem with the internet problem. Sorry for that.
That's okay. Go on.
Ashkurkum jamian. Taban ana ma siyasi. Ana muwatan Junubi. Bitkalam raiti kal muwatan Junubi walaysa siyasi. Ala shay ana shuftu. بشوف في الكتابات وتعبيرات. أولا أنا أشكر سليمان دندرة وواقف مع جانب الحركة الشعبية سنين.
Okay, he dropped out again. That's why I gave him a chance. But now we will continue. Pastor, get back your chance. If you have anything you can say to the Honorable before we kick off.
Yes, actually, let me greet you in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Brother David, David Puondak, if I pronounce right. I am struggling with middle name, but also I hope you pronounce your first name and the last name correctly. Brother Honorable David Puondak, and also let me honor and greet my brother Suleiman Dendra, Safir, Safir, Suleiman Dendra. Bardo, let me greet Brother Yak and Brother Arnold, and the host we have here in the middle, Al-Wagar Dingmabo. First of all, I was not following the beginning of the Honorable, what he said about the thing. But I think we were talking about the reflection. And when people talking about reflection, is only a reflection about the years, how many years we have. Is from 1 to 10. And from 1 to 10, if somebody is following me in my Sunday reflection, and I give you a story about John the Baptist. أنا ما عارف أنتوا ما عارفين most of you ما عارفين John the Baptist. لكن John the Baptist ده كان صوت الصارخ في البرية. بيقول أصنعوا السبل المستقيمة. And the kingdom of God is near.
Amen. Amen.
And then the people were very confused. What is he talking about? You know. And then the people realized at the end of the day that it ولد إنه Jesus Christ اتولد في وسط بتاعتنا وجيسس خلاص Jesus Christ كانت هو المخلص العالم. فاحنا في خلال السنة 2011 لغاية سنة 2021 نحن فيه هسه عندنا 10 سنوات. We have 10 years. 10 years of those 10 years, some of them are nasty, some of them are, but there is one reality that I need you to understand, which is, we have the country. whether that country we have it in messy places or in a mess, in anything, we still hold on our own country. أنا واحد من الناس اللي بتابع برادر سليمان دندرة شديد في التحليلات والسياسية، إلا إنه sometimes في شيء مهم جدا أنتوا السياسيين أنتوا بتخطئوا فيه. اللي أنتوا بتخطئوا فيه سياسيا إنه ما بتعرفوا الكلر بتاع السياسة. You don't understand the color بتاع السياسة. شكله إيه؟ لونه شنو؟ وإذا أنت بتعرف اللون بتاع السياسة ده اللي بخلي somebody like سليمان دندرة يطلع من الحركة الشعبية يكون IO، لأن السياسة ما عنده لون. وفي نفس الوقت ده اللي بخلي الإنسان اللي هو دايحد SPLA يموت في SPLA، إنه SPLA هو ده الكل. لكن أنا أقول لكم أنتوا قوم بتاع SPLA المعارضة ولا SPLA الopposition، عندنا أقول لكم أنتوا أخطأتوا خطأ فظيع في حق بتاع السودان. الخطأ اللي أنتوا عملتوه إنه لما أنتوا كنتوا حاربتوا متوحدين لغاية ما شيبتوا كانتري بتاعتنا ده in the goal of the plate وقدمتوا للشعب الجنوب السودان. أنا بكون ملخوم sometimes. أنا بقول الناس ديل طالما هم قدموا السودان وجابوا السودان وخدتوا له ناس، شنو المشكلة تاني؟ إلا إنه أنا طبعا أنا بقرأ السياسية جدا، أنا أزول أبونا، لكن لو أنت دخلتني في الهناية الصحن الصينية بتاع السياسة السودانية ممكن I can beat one of you guys.
Yeah, I know.
لأنه الناس بعد ما جابوا البلد الجميل ده في جولدن بليت ناس رجعوا في بيوتات، ودي الخرب السودان وقسم السودان. السودان اتقسم اصلا لانه كانت اصل مؤسس على البيوتات، بيت بحدي وبيت معارف المرغني وبيت معارف ايه، بيت علي المرغني وبيت معارف ترابي وبيت معارف ابراهيم النقط ومعارف بيت الوهابيين وكلام فارغ من هذا. شفت كانت النتيجه انه السودان اتقسم، وكان في زول بيشوف نفسه هو سيد اخر. السودان اتقسم. الى نحن المفروض نكون احسن من كده، نحن الجنوبيين نكون احسن من كده، لانه اول حاجه احنا اتولدنا من تجربه مريره سياسيه. والتجربه المريره السياسيه دي نحن المفروض نتعلم منه. وعشان كده انا كان الريفلكشن بتاعي لاست ساندي وانا بشارك معكم هسه، انا بقول انه ال10 سنوات الماضيه 10 years back there was some confusion, there was some nasty happened to it، لكن أنا نديكم وعد. Take it from here.
Yes.
ما الناس تتعلم من الدروس أصلا.
Yes.
الناس بتتعلم من الدروس. We learn from the hard way or from the lesson that we had.
Yeah.
Take it from here. And my prayers was that إنه إحنا هنكون أحسن ناس في آخر في the next 10 years.
هللويا هللويا قسيس، هللويا.
هنكون احسن ناس. بس خلينا نقبلوا بعض. وده كلام اللي قاله الرئيس لما كان عمل لقاء مع الراجل اسمه جيف ده، قال السودان ده اذا الشعب الجنوبي قبلوا بعض، ده كلام كبير جدا. لان المشكله ما مشكله القيادات، المشكله مشكله الشعب ذاته اللي قاعد في سوق المدفسو والقاعد ما عارف في سوق كونيا والقاعد في نايل. اذا كان الناس دي ما قدروا يفهموا بعض، ما تقول لي انه مثلا هيكون في ربنا هيجي من السماء هيجي يهلكم.
امين.
ما في. احنا we have to accept ourselves انه we mess up and we have to be better than that. and that's the reflection that I want any سياسي اللي ما عنده لون ده يشيل الكلام ده. ما تاخذ الوان، لما تاخذ الوان ده انت ما زول سياسي. تقوم تشيل لك لون معين تقول لي ده بس ده لون بتاعي وخلاص، انت you are not a politician. You something else. But let us concede to close my reflection with you guys. And I'm so happy I heard what Honorable said, and also I heard what my brother Suleiman Dandra said. إنه البلد ده بلدنا كلنا.
Yes.
احنا كنا اولاد واو، كنا اولاد ملكيه. انا تربيت في كورجرونجو كويس. انا لما كنا في كورجرونجو انا ما بعرف انا في حاجه اسمه برتيت ذاته. هسه ده ظهر حاجه اسمه فرتيت، ظهر حاجه اسمه معارض لو، ظهر حاجه اسمه ده كلام جاي من وين ده؟ ده معناته واو ده ذاته distorted.
Yes. That's true. يا ممكن تقول لي yes.
معناته واو النار اللي كنا نحن بنمثله. انا في دفعتي انا كنت ممثل الجنوب السودان من خلال بحر خزر في الشهاده الابتدائي. وده كان النتيجه شنو؟ ده كان نتيجه انه نحن بنستخدم وبنقرا نحن اولاد واو.
يس.
لكن انا هسه ما في اولاد واو.
Yeah.
ما في اولاد جناي معرض. نحن اولاد بارقزال، وبارقزال معرض في النص بارقزال، وفي معرض شرق، وبعرف ايه بتاع.
Your time is up, Abuna.
فانا بخليكم وربنا يبارككم، بس ما تاخذ لون. خليكم تشيلوا ال10 سنوات اللي فاتت ارموه في جاربج. لكن عندكم في حاجه واحد مهم، انه عندكم دوله اسمه جنوب السودان.
امين.
في 10 سنوات الماضيه.
امين.
انا في كندا هنا اي بوت اون ات، وانتم في جنوب السودان واي زول في حته ثاني بوت اون ات. يا انا بشكر الناس، انا اسلوت اي زول كان قاعد في خلا الشوق طعنه والهنايه طعنه، لكن بنفس الروح اللي انتم كنتوا بتدافعوا به انا عايز روح ده يجي راجع ثاني for the next 10 years.
خلينا نشكرك كثير جدا يا ابونا على الكلام اللي انت قلته، وانت اديته. انا زول مؤمن بالرب بالمناسبه، انا زول قاعد sorry.
I will give each one of you 3 minutes because Honorable David Puondak he has been here for 2 hours right now. He didn't even take a break to take a cup of water, and also he's running out of time, so he will go and pick up his kid. And this is not going to be the first and the last, my people of South Sudan. So, Honorable, I thank you for your braveness to commit yourself and come here to answer all the questions for all your people. That's a very, very, very great step. So I will give each one of you 3 minutes, and then our guest will conclude it, and then show will be closed because we had a long time, especially for him. You guys know that talking is a very big job. So Dadara, go ahead with your 3 minutes.
انا بشكرك كثير يا ابونا. انت جيت قلت كلمات مهمه جدا، لكن للتاريخ عشان انت قاعد تسمع مني. الخلاف الناس بيفتكروا الخلاف بتاع الحركه الشعبيه في 2010 ولا 2013. الخلاف اصلا من اليوم بتاع وكده الناس في نيو سايد في حضروا الجنازه بتاع الدكتور جون وتعيين سلفا عشان يكون نائب له. خلاف حصل هناك، خلاف بين السياسي العساكر السياسيين والعساكر الصرف. يعني الخلاف ده الشعب الجنوبي ما في زول داير يقول لهم الكلام ده اصلا. يعني السياسيين اللي كانوا مارسوا السياسه دينالور الناس اللي طلعوا اللي انت شفتهم كلهم كانوا بيشوفوا انه الرئيس سلفا عسكري ما يقدر يدير، وكمان سلفا فقد الثقه فيه من هناك. عشان كده انت شفت ناس ويناكور ناس والمنانجوك والجماعه اللي جنبه دي العساكر. ما نحن جوا كان في عساكر صرف وفي عساكر سياسيين. الخطا اللي انت قلته نحن خلطناه ده خلينا نقوله للشعب الجنوبي يسمعوا. الخطا ده ما قاعد انا ما ممكن نحمله لسلفا لسبب بسيط. كلنا عارفين انه سلفا رجل عسكري ما مارس سياسه خالص الفتره بتاعت الحرب ولا يوم. اول زياره وطلع ابوه جا في ليبيا عمل 11 يوم معنا. اول زياره له من خش الحركه الشعبيه حاجه سياسي طلع جو جليبيه 11 ما هو ياسر عرفة. الحاجه اللي كان المفروض يعملوا كان ممكن يعملوا زي بتاع بشير، الناس السياسيين اللي يلتفوا حوله ويعملوا برنامج والناس يمشوا قدام. لكن الخطا اللي حصل كل زول داير يكون رئيس. يعني اللحظه المفارقه اللي حصلت انه ناسنا كل زول بعد رحيل قرن كل وده حتى ظاهر في وظاهر في الحركات. لو انت لاحظت يعني اديك مثل بسيط في المعارضه اللي اجتمع فوقه واحد من الكومنترات الكبار اللي هو ملونج وباغان و توماس شيريلو. باغان وملونج شغالين، اقصد باغان وتوماس شيريلو كانوا في الشرك، هم الماسكين الشرك. توماس شيريلو القائد العسكري وباغان كان القائد السياسي مع ماكولكور القائد الاسم شنو بتاعت الامن، وهم اللي فتحوا الشرك بالمناسبه. لكن عشان هم كلهم ما بيقدروا كل زول داير يكون رئيس، الانشقاق يوم انت شفته ده فات باس بي برا وده فات بده، وحس هم وهو ملون ما في زول رئيس في الحزب ذاته، ما عندهم رئيس، كلهم بينادوا بنفسهم اعضاء. دي الكارثه بتاعتنا في الجنوب، انه نحن ما قادرين نطلع زول واحد نمشي وراه. ده حقيقه نقوله. انت قعدت في واو، انا مبسوط انت قعدت في واو وبتعرف واو وبتعرف شعب واو. اهلنا فراتيد ده لو انت ما لمسته ما بيسالك، ما بيعتدي عليك. يعني لازم الناس تعرف الكلام ده. انت قعدت في واو، ما في يوم انا قعدت في انا في بفعل. احنا ما بنعرف نفسنا كان دينكا ونوير وشنو، ما بنعرف. لكن الضغط يا بقى كده. فانا داير اقول معلش، شكرا لكم يا ليج ستيت ميديا، عملوا لنا حلقه بتاعت حوار بتاع سلام، يكون ابونا ده يكون قاعد فيه، يجيبوا لنا ديفيد يجي بعقل جديد ويجيبوا لنا نجي نتناقش دايرين نمشي وين، وير وي جوينج. دي او حاجه اللي تناقشون لنا. لكن كلام حرب وشنو ده كده نخليه ورا ونشوف كلام ابونا اللي قال اننا ممكن نكون قويين ده، هنكون قويين ده كيف. شكرا جزيلا.
Thank you. شكرا Honorable Dandara for your input and for your respecting the time also. Arnold Bill, come on in with your 3 minutes. Arnold, unmute yourself.
I'm not hearing you.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you guys to remind me that. Yeah. Thank you guys. Once again, thank you, Safir Selman Donro. Thank you, Abuna John Mayer, for a great word that you give it to us. And then actually this word is for all Sudanese, South Sudanese people, not people in the panel. And thank you very much, Mr. David Panda. You try a lot and then keep it up. And maybe one day you become a politician. My question is that أنا بشيل زمن واحد دقيقة بس. Yeah, دقيقة. I want to ask the SPLM party, General Secretary. سنة ده بعينه بتعيين تاني ولا بكون في انتخابات؟ This is my question. This is my question. بكون في انتخابات في system until زول بيجي ولا بعينه بقرار. ده سؤال. بالمناسبة أنا SPLM من بدري. لكن I really want to know, because when you see the history of the stronger country in the world like China and American, you see when you see the party strong, the system will be strong. But when you see the party is weak, that's why we are all this chaos. So my question is that I hope this year will not be degree to appoint the secretary. Thank you so much. That's my question.
Thank you, Brother Arnold. Very short and brief. So, Honorable, you have your 5 minutes now to conclude everything and greet our audience again for goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you, Agar. And first of all, let me just start with the Pastor John Mayer. I greet you in the name of God, of course, as a man of God. I have taken note of your views. They are advice for all to open the new page, which is good. That's what we need. And without choice, they have not get the country. First of all, let me just quickly answer him, and then I make a general comment to the debate. Arnold, I think I answered before the question from React. He was asking whether there will be election in 2013. 2023.
Okay.
But what I answered,
I'm sorry for that. Yeah.
mine will be the same.
Yeah.
It depends. Pardon? Yeah, I will come back to you anyway. I'm answering you. The real answer is based on peace, implementation of peace, the revitalized peace agreement. When the country is in peace, then the election follow. And when there is no money for those politicians to go and get elected in their constituencies. That's why now the government is focusing on peace first. Peace is priority. When we support all together from different parties and the government to bring peace back to the country, this is where the election will take place. I answered before, last answer, election is there. It is a government program to make election. And election will not be nomination. Election is election. Nomination is not election. People go to the field, you go to your constituency, if you know where you come from. Those who need nomination are the one who doesn't have constituencies. Those who need shortcut. They have parties with their wives. There are people who have their parties back with their wife at home, and they want to be nominated because their parties, the only thing is the constitution. These are the people actually who confuse the country. They are sitting somewhere and they need to be members and the constituencies. They go focusing to create, to demarcate, the country, to show where you come from. The population is known. You know who voted for you. Now those parties you are seeing in Juba, they are in the back, and they are the members of PAN. Government said, "Oh, look this way." Then they say, "No, government has a very bad language. These people are saying that, and these are saying that." I think I answered that. Let me just wind up my presentation with the thanks to each and everyone, and particularly Solomon, Comrade Solomon. I appreciate. This is my first time to meet you, and I wish that we will continue to meet. This is our country. I need all of us. No one is owning this South Sudan. We need to come together and support like we did during the struggle. If we were not one, we would have not get to the country. Of course, there are challenges. I said that before. I never forget to mention it faster. I never failed to mention that we have challenges in the country during 10 years. And if there were no war, the country would have been a different place. The challenges are many. And if we count, we can even go until midnight. That's why we don't mention some, because we know them. There are a lot of challenges. Actually, the number one is peace. That's what we need. The peace will let us think properly, in unity. We love that we had during the struggle. My fellow South Sudanese, those who are watching, SPLM is the party who brought peace, who brought in. This is the history. No one is going to deny it. Salva Kiir was there, John Garang was there, all of you were there. This is the history we want to register, and our children will learn from what we did. They will learn from the mistake. They will also learn from what we achieved. No one will rule it that we didn't achieve nothing. We achieved, and we failed what we did not achieve. We want to do it in the future. Who knows? And if you come next time, Solomon, to be the president, then we will stand with you. That's what we want, and it will happen. The democracy people fought for in those years, more than 100 years. I mean, half of 100 years. It is a half century since you start fighting with the cartoon, and you got your right in 2011. 10 years is time, and I hope we'll get out of this. We'll get out of this, and we are going to gain the the country with love, a country which is going to be developed by South Sudanese, and we fight again when we get rid of this tribalism, because those who are speaking tribalism, you know them. We know them all. You know, when people were fighting, they were tribalism. But when the country is now people are talking, they are saying go and go. But we to accept one another, we need to learn that language. And I like the first, I appeal to all the house of God and the people to teach the people civic education, to coexist, to live one another. We need to live together as South Sudanese. You know, this is the language of peace, and the government started with dialogue. National dialogue has been done, and you know the leaders of that national dialogue. That was the program to unite the people. And this is the role of the churches. I appreciate your contribution, Pastor, and you have sent it to the all boundaries of the church and the religious leaders, including most, to preach peace instead of preaching hatred. We will get nothing out of hatred. All the political parties come out, whether you are in diaspora or you are inside the country, go back and register. Election is coming. It is going to be a very big contest when there is peace. This is the few things I can say. And to close my remark, I will close it with the respect to those who died during the struggle. They those of us. I will also close with those who are wounded. There are few who are still now working in Juba and everywhere in the country with a bullet. Without them, we would have not the country. I also close it with sympathy of the orphan, those whom their fathers they died during the struggle. Without their contribution, we would have not that country. And this is the cause. All of us have to go back to the country, have to contribute positively. At least we rescue those people. And these are the people we talk to the government, talk to the leadership to deliver, help these people. Instead of bringing in more pain, bringing the war it can even shed more, fuel in the war in the fire. We are now creating more death while we have this burden in the country. We have a lot. It is a collective work. It is not a work of one person. It is not a work of the government. It's not a work of Salva-Kiir. It's not a work of David Kockedhie. It is all our report. Okay, this is the language of peace. We have to come together. We have to come together, and this is the initiative government made. We signed the revitalized peace agreement, and it's now being implemented. That national dialogue is continuing, and everything will be all right. I do believe with this few remarks, I wish everyone a happy time wherever you are. And we need you to come and build South Sudan. Your word are count. Vision is count. You send the money, I know. You do everything to your families. And we have been doing it all along. Is it not a contribution? We accept and we appreciate. And I salute all of you, wherever you are in South Sudan. SPLM is strong. And SPLM is going to take us across the road if we did not reach there. Especially through development and the other thing that we need to see, we'll see them. I salute you. Thank you, Lagos State Media, for this time. And on Saturday, I invited you also, and celebration is going to take place in prayer. I will be there. The people will come. I invited everybody from state, but with the lockdown, I think no one is coming. Or if you manage to come, you are highly welcome. It is conducted here. You can contact me, contact my chairman, David Teng, Poch, who is there, and Secretary General, who is Andrew Wahido, is the Secretary General of the party. All are welcome. My viewers, SPLM is strong and is in the move. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable David Puondak, and our viewers. We thank you all, our guests, Ambassador Solomon Dandara, you are highly welcome, and we thank you for joining us. Also, our brother Arnold, our pastor John Mayer, and all the viewers wherever you are. We really thank you guys, and also we need to advise you as Legacy media team that if we have a guest or if we have any topic on the line that day, so I request everybody please join in earlier so that we can take time and share the time together instead of coming late, or maybe you can be watching down there as a viewer. Please join us when you want to come in. Please come in straight away so that you can be here on time. And everybody, I wish you guys a very happy Wednesday, those who are in Australia, Tuesday in America and Canada. So you guys will have a very great night, and our people back home, you will have a very great day too. So thank you so much, all of you, and we will meet again as our brother mentioned earlier that you guys can be here anytime. This is your forum. You can come and debate politics, anything, development. So we are ready for you guys as Lagos State Media Team to host you anytime you want as we come together and be united as one nation, one people. Thank you guys. Have a great one.
It's your boy Young giving that thing. Punch all like a stand and punch it America. Punch it door, the banaban. Punch all like a stand and punch it America. Punch it door, the banaban. Walk on your leg, kankara water no watching. Oga level leg, gear, pow, very leg. Panda with ya, punch it America. Panya 12 and now. Chingatonga pandon could you ever buy a check out? Papu panda juru, what ya be?